Right, let's try it one more time. And if it's not going to work, then I'll have to cancel. Can you hear me? He says, looking at the sound level below. Hi, Scott. Can you hear me? You hear me? BJ Carey, you can hear me. Boom. Lee, you can actually hear me. Did it happen to Mike the other day? Well, if it happens to Mike, then that makes me feel better. I'm sorry for Mike, but he's a pro, so if it's happened to him, happened to the professionals, then you can hear me. Woo-hoo. Oh no, not the cracking thing again. I want it to right. Yeah, I'm perfectionist, OCD, as well as autistic. Oh, the cracking thing happened to Mike. Loose cable. Yeah. So I really ought to have a proper microphone. I'm amazed that this works just through the laptop. But like I said, it worked like 15, 16 times. And then my daughter went to great lengths to set up the microphone, and I feel really bad for her. It just didn't work. So here, what we can talk about? We can talk about technology, but that'd be really boring because I'm just hopeless for technology. Well, as you know, and I don't know the first thing about it. I know where the on button is. There. Space bar. That's it. I've got a £17.99 light from Curry's, which what would the equivalent be in America? I don't know. The tech section of Walmart. I don't know. Scott's still at work in Minnesota. Is that correct? Um, just make noise. Yeah, everybody make noise for me. Setting this up, not for me, but the fact that we're here. We make noise for us. Thank you, Gigi. Likewise. Later. Yeah, sorry about the aggravation, the stress, the annoyance. Right, let's talk about something interesting. We're here now. Let's crack on. It's 8 minutes past 10. Um, I started this at 9:30. I feel like I'm doing it for 4 hours. It's usually the other way around. I do it for 4 hours. It feels like half an hour because I'm having so much fun. I'm whinging again. Let's not whinge. Um, so yeah, what we're going to talk about because I was mindful that I've not done a live stream for a while, and I've got so many fans. I mean friends. I thought I better log on and do a live stream and remind you that I'm still around, as if you needed reminding. Because yeah, you've got your own lives. You do you. I'm still pumping out a stupid video once a week. It's not like I've disappeared, but I just thought I'd do a live stream and say hello. You probably are going to have fun tonight. God, pressure's on. What am I going to say? What am I going to do? Jazz hands. Hi, Richard. Good to see you. Scott, you loved the reactionception video. Thank you. Yeah, let's talk about the video just did. Thank you for that lead in, Scott. Thank you for the nice comments. Thank you all. And if you haven't written a nice comment yet, well, why not? Good to be seen. Likewise. Yeah, good to see the same names and new names. I don't think I've met Stray Huvian until tonight. Arlene is here. So I've got a combination of regulars and new people, which is the best combination. 3 live streams today. You really counting it as 3? Anyway, let's not talk about that. Let's talk about the reactionception video that I felt compelled to do. Not just to go on an ego trip, but I think it's interesting. I think the motivation for me making the video is quite interesting. It's probably one of the least enjoyable videos that I've made because it made me so cross. Yeah, I didn't really want to do it, but I felt compelled. It's like being involved in politics. I don't really want to do it. I just get annoyed about something. I feel I have to respond, hence the video. And then I found out that it was an AI generated, but it can't be entirely AI generated. Someone, a human being, come up with the idea of generating a video through artificial intelligence because presumably they'll make lots of money out of it. Just wicked. And then people commenting saying, "Oh, this speaks for me." I'm like, you are showing artificial intelligence by saying that this speaks for you. Ha ha. And yeah, I'm spending 15 hours, 20 hours making 7-minute video, um, without any artificial intelligence, minimal intelligence, human intelligence, and I'm getting 400 views, which is fine. It's fine. It's not about views. It's about meaning and engagement. But when you set that against an AI generated video which gets 1 million views, you're like, why am I bothering? Why am I bothering? Oh yeah, because there are many other benefits to making the videos, like connecting with you guys and seeing the same names and seeing new people. I think if you've got 1 million people watching your video, you're not going to be able to engage with 1 million people, are you? Um, so do not get me wrong. It's I really like where my channel is at the moment. It's good because people engage, people say nice things. I feel like I have a purpose making the videos, and get frustrated with the, sort of contradicting myself here. I do get frustrated that a really badly made video gets 1 million views and an excellent video like mine gets 400 views. But I enjoy making them, and if I didn't enjoy doing it, I wouldn't do it. So, I do have to keep telling myself it's not about views, and which is quite a silly thing to say because you make a video so that people watch it. So clearly it is about views, but it's not about the number of views. And I've got so many videos that I want to make. I feel like I said this to Paul at Adult with Autism. Or did I say it to you guys? I can't remember. I feel like I'm just getting started with the channel, which is a fantastic thing to say when I've been doing it for over a year and a half, and I'm just like barely scratched the surface. I've done like 70 odd videos. So I really like the mindset I have about the channel in the sense that I feel like I've just got started. So watch out. There'll be loads more videos if I've got the energy to make them. And on that note, if you do have any ideas, as always, let me know now or email me or comment underneath the video. I'll put them in a Word document, and I do respond to them. I do try to make videos based on the ideas that I receive from yourselves. Although I think, Richard, it might have been you or someone else. Um, it obviously would have been someone else if it wasn't you. Suggested I do a video about skills regression from an autistic, late diagnosed autistic point of view, and I had hoped to do it before the end of the month, but it's not going to happen. But it is on the list, so just get my apology in there and promise. Going to do a video, really short video, and then I'm going to have like a 2-week break. Sorry guys. But yeah, going to do a short video on autistic masking and put that on the channel Monday or Tuesday. It's going to be a really short video, but I think you'll like it. Right, let's catch up in the comments. I was a bit of a rant slash ego trip there. Kind of what live streams are about, aren't they? So yeah, let me catch up. Straight evening, this is my first live here. Yes. Sorry about the hiccups, false starts, but we're here now until it starts buffering. And if it buffers for like a millisecond, I'm done. Bedtime. It's 10:15 at night in the UK. Any more problems? I'm jinxing it now. It'll happen any moment now. I'll be like, bye guys. See you later. Next level is an AI that makes the prompts for another AI or an AI video reviewing an, oh, crikey. Yeah, good point, Richard. How depressing. I mean, I thought I was being clever and cocky by doing that skit, but yeah, AI commenting on AI, an AI generated skit about reviewing an AI video. Oh, the mind boggles. Um, some of those views are probably fake. How can it be fake though? Someone's what AI view? Oh God, so depressing. AI has shaped up chunks of content from recycling if it's not a patch on a person's piece of work. No, no, I mean, I'm usually like 6 years behind the trend, whatever the trend might be. I think that's partly or mainly because I'm autistic. Just stick to what I enjoy doing. I'm like, what? Cars exist? I thought we were riding bikes. I just think, what car? What is a car? So I'm always like way behind everyone. Like with AI, I mean, you know this because I made the video reaction to this video. I didn't even know it was about AI. People explaining to me, yeah, it's AI. I'm like, is it artificial intelligence here? Let alone the video. So I'm playing catch up. Like AI, what's that? What's that? Um, yeah, ironic. And what was I going to say? Um, I've lost my train of thought. Yeah, so this could just be a rant about AI. I think that's where I was going with that. Um, I could see using AI to help, but not be the main body. Yeah, I think that was the point. Yeah. So human content. I watched. Said this in response to Lizzie at Creative Autistic, who commented on my video. I watched well two music videos, one by Pulp and one by Stereolab, and both of them but AI generated. And the Pulp one, I love Pulp. If you can type it in because I can. The band Pulp released just released their first album since 2001. When I was at university, that's how long ago it was. And the video for Spike Island, the sort of comeback single, was AI generated, and it completely warped the sort of artwork for my favorite pulp album, Different Class. It's horrific. What are you doing? You're sabotaging this memory of this classic album to make a satirical point about the use of AI. I don't. The satire was lost on me. It was just like you're ruining your own artwork. You're ruining the memory I had of that album. Don't do it. Just yeah, I get the satire, but other people have made that point. You've not made an album in 24 years. Hire a young, wildly creative music director. Give them their first gig, and then make an original human-led video. But no, you made an AI generated video. So I hope this is like a really brief phase in humanity. Like, oh, AI, it's dreadful. AI is super creative. But maybe the genie's out of the bottle, and maybe we're stuck with it, and people are gonna, like myself now, feel obliged to endlessly comment on AI. I hope not. I hope that we can, just acknowledge that it exists and focus on human content. But maybe that's wishful thinking and deeply naive. But yeah, let me know your thoughts as always. AI shaped like chunks of yes, sorry. Yeah, got that one there. Let me catch up. Um, Later, right, let's talk about autism. I have people telling me I don't seem autistic. I find it irritating because I was professionally diagnosed. Yeah, you don't seem autistic. Based on what? What are you basing your view of autism on? You don't seem autistic. It would suggest that you have a definition of autism and a visualization of autism. What is that visualization, may I ask? Is it Rain Man? Do you shuffle about and do hugely complicated mathematical sums? I have to confess, I've not seen Rain Man, but such is the stereotype, so prevalent and powerful is the stereotype that I don't need to have seen it to understand how pervasive this stereotype is, how still, unfortunately, current the stereotype is. This film made in 1988, sorry. Um, so when people say, "Oh, you don't seem autistic," I think 9 people out of 10 are saying, well, "You don't seem like Dustin Hoffman in Rain Man." So, no, he's a fictional character, and he wasn't meant to be autistic. He was meant to be a savant. Dustin Hoffman lobbed in autism because he knew someone who was autistic or was interested in autism, and ever since then, we've been tarnished with this stereotype. We've had to advocate even harder for our own autistic identity because we're fighting against this stereotype that has no meaningful bearing on our own lives. That's another rant, but that's one of the many hills I'm going to die on. I'm going to die on some severely undulating ground. There's so many hills that I've said I will die on. And multiple deaths, making some profoundly meaningful point about autism. But that's the battle I'm engaged in. It's a battle. Puts imaginary flagpole in the turf. This is me rallying against all sorts of grievances because those grievances get me out of bed in the morning because I am a perennial grump. There's nothing I like more than whinging. I'm British. It's raining. I hate rain. I hate autism stereotypes. I hate right-wing politicians. Da da da. And then I cheer up because I've offloaded and I'm doing it now. And it's making me happy. It's weird, isn't it? I feel happy ranting at my laptop to people I can't see around the world. But this is my jam. This is my idea of fun. So if you've been here before, you'll know that already. If you haven't been here before, please don't be scared because I'm just a random guy in the UK talking nonsense at his own laptop. No harm can be done. Helen's here. Hello. How are you? Russell's here as well. Russell Cannon. Hello. This is the pub, the virtual pub. Or if you're in the States or Canada, it would be a bar, I presume. You don't have pubs over there, do you? Or do you? I don't know. Let me know. I saw in a meme recently that I like if you have to be on a phone call, just say that your battery's about to die, then you can hang up whenever you want. Yeah, someone tried to phone me today, and I just dreaded. I actually put them off until tomorrow. I'm dreading it now. I hate phone calls. I hate them because I don't know when to speak and I can't hear people. It's like being in a pub. I'm like it's too noisy and I don't know what to say and it's too fast. The live stream thing kind of works for me because I can take my time reading what you've written, and I've made that point many times. So sorry. Um, Charlie, hello again. Arlene, I'm sick of the AI voices. See, I'm not dumb. I thought the guy narrating the AI video that I got very angry about was a real person. But AI is so clever that that's the point. It convinces you that it's real. Frightening. Um, yeah, I'm sick of it. I'm just going to be grumpy. Here's here's a word for grump. It's a word used in Northern England. Mardy. I'm going to be Mardy. Um, Infinity is very interesting to me, but infinite AI videos is less appealing. Absolutely. It could just churn them out endlessly, couldn't it? AI videos forever. Ah, horrible. There's a fly in the room, and so if I'm waving my arms about, it's not because I'm stimming or just dancing or And that's probably inappropriate to make that comparison, but this is unfiltered, unscripted. I apologize. I'm gesticulating now, wearing this groovy shirt. I use the word groovy. Tell me off using the word groovy. I'm 43 years old, goodness sake. What's the Drost effect? What the heckity heck? It's called the same thing. Yeah, educate me. I'm here to be educated by you guys. You're here to watch me lose my mind, getting angry about things. Fair trade. For Pulp, I really like the song Seconds. I'm shamefully ignorant of that song, Richard. Although I had to confess to Lizzie at Creative Autistic that I'd not heard the album His and Hers in its entirety. And I don't know why. It was right before Different Class. Different Class was released in 1995. His and Hers, 94, I think. I still haven't heard it. Why? Seconds, is that on His and Hers? Maybe it is. You've never heard Pulp? Check them out. Check them out. Pulp. Different Class. It was huge in England in 1995. 30 years ago. Where does time go? I'm guilty of doing that, but you say my connection's bad and just hang up and scared. Yeah, phone call tactics. Absolutely. They would call us troglodytes, would they? Who's they? That fly is going to flicker onto my cheek and I'm going to batter my own face in a moment. Did I get it? Nope. Palm of shame. Back in the 90s, I thought the internet was just a fad. Now I wonder if AI is going to be the same thing. Oh no. The internet's everywhere. We're on it now, in case you needed reminding. Oh, I hope you're wrong, BJ Carey. I hope AI or A. It's quicker to say, isn't it? Just call it A. No one will know what you're talking about, but it's quicker to say it. But then it won't be quicker because you have to explain why you just said A. Um, yeah, A will be a fad, hopefully. We're all humans here, so we are making human content. Are you human? For all I know, this is AI generated. See, I'm not paranoid now. I don't even know if my hands are real. Well, they are real because I just slapped my face and it stung a bit. Ain't no faking that pain. I guess I get an Academy Award for my acting neurotypical. Yeah, masking. What was it? We're talking about the same thing now. Yeah, although sometimes it feels like, you know, we should. What am I trying to say here? Like people are judging us on our ability to pretend to be neurotypical when we're, as I will talk about in the video, very short video, masking is really exhausting. So rather not do it at all, thank you. Rather just be myself, and not be judged on my ability to act, but judged on my ability to tell you random facts about Bolivia whenever I want to share them, or pop music, or autism, without you going, oh, like a fart in your face. Unfortunately for me, a reaction that I've experienced more times than I care to mention. Just say a sentence, and people are like, "You're doing that, talking about autism for what? What are you doing?" Well, I'm being myself. You want me to be myself? That's what it says on the funky picture in the staff room. Love, laugh, live, be yourself. All these sort of Instagram cliches. I thought, I took them literally. I'm autistic. Like, be yourself. No, not like that. You don't want to hear about autism. You might as well fart in my face. Well, I'm autistic and I take everything literally. So if you're not careful, I might fart in your face. Sorry. Just enjoying saying the word farts many times. I've done it again. It's 10:30. It's that sort of a twilight zone of, I'm sort of off the leash. Don't need to make any sense now. I'm not at work. Kids should be in bed. Are they in bed? Are they in the house? What a responsible parent I am. Hello? Oh, they are in the house. Don't worry. They are in the house. Don't need social services getting involved. Um, so yeah, nonsense. I did pitch this as it was going to be about nonsense. Oren's here. Hello. How you doing, Oren? Are you 5 hours behind me? Obviously not literally. You're in the moment now. The time zones and all that. I like Air's tool, especially for accessible. God, my bottom hurts. Sorry, because I've got really bad seating arrangement because I'm squeezed in. Or because I like the pretentious book background, but the downside of that is that I've got no leg room. So if I'm squirming, it's because I can't slide my legs under the table because there's no gap. And this is a very boring and unnecessary explanation, but now you know why I'm looking like I'm practicing my skiing maneuver because back hurts and I've not figured out the chair arrangement. I'm just slipping in and out really quick like a ninja. I can't comment from the car, but I can on the grocery store. So hello and goodbye. Always good to see you. Likewise. Um, Arlene, when you don't seem autistic, it's actually a comment on being a high camouflage struggling person. Yes, exactly. You don't seem autistic, and then we can say to that person, yeah, but you don't seem very understanding of the effort I'm putting in to pretend to be neurotypical. You don't seem to understand how exhausting it is to pretend to be someone I'm not, just to survive and not be, bullied and excluded. So have a think about what you just said there, because it's not helpful. But having to, if you were to actually do it in that way, then that you'd be inevitably creating a conflict, and then you'd feel like you're the bad one, and you're not. You're just correcting someone's ignorance about autism. So in my experience, I'd tend not to have that conflict because I hate conflict because I'm autistic and I like peace. So if someone sort of brandishes this ridiculous autism stereotype or commends me for my, you know, ability to pretend to be neurotypical, while I want to say, well, I'd rather you didn't. I'd rather you just, I'd rather I didn't have to pretend in the first place. I'd rather you accept me from me as my autistic, authentic self, um, rather than remind them or tell them in the first place that that's what I'd like them to do. I just keep it up there and move away, and then metaphorically kick myself later on. So why didn't you challenge them? Because I hate conflict. But if you don't challenge them, their ignorance will remain. Okay, I'll make YouTube videos and challenge their ignorance that way. But they won't watch them. Damn it. Oh well, you know, and so on and so on. Isabella's here. Hello. You probably got here 10 minutes ago. Hello. 24 people here. Christ. Sitting in the garden. Hello again. Charlie, haven't you had the don't see autistic? Yeah, probably because I can't remember the last time I spent some offline. Okie doke. I'm going to try and learn how to read English. Life is not easy being autistic. Absolutely correct. I don't go out much. Likewise, as you can see, I'm indoors now, my safe space. God, I'm way behind on the chat already because I went off on several tangents, but that's what you're here for. I'm sure of it. Did you have to go when you're here in about 4 hours? I'll be back. Yeah, probably will be here in 4 hours. No, I won't. I won't. Don't worry. I mean, you go and come and go as you please, as you always do. Because you're at home doing your thing. I'm not going to be here for 4 hours. Absolutely not. I like this uncommon people from Pulp quite a bit. good. It's mandatory to like that song. It's a great song. Working class anthem. Oh, chip on the wall, indeed. A chip on the wall. If you called your daddy, he could stop it all. Sort Freeze and Whiz. Yeah. Um, Great song, great album. And I particularly like that song because it mentions being in a field in Hampshire. And I grew up in Hampshire in the 90s. And yeah, being in a field in Hampshire is a nice sentence, but it takes me right back to the 90s um, when I was a teenager. So there we are, when the album came out. Rickettix here, hello. Yeah, you had your choir practice and you made it here. Did you miss anything? Yeah, you missed me not have a meltdown about technology problems because this is the third go at doing this. Hence, chill out again. Um, Holly, you've also got a fly buzzing around. Yeah, I think the fly's gone. But yeah, if I slap my face again, you'll know why. Isabella, well, there are too many people here. Who do I speak to first? Too many people. What a problem. How do I know if I'm not a robot? Okay, good point. I find masking exhausting. Yes, but with knowledge comes power. So knowing that I'm autistic means I mask less because I know I only got so much energy. And if I can avoid a situation where masking is expected of me, then that's what I'll do. I'll avoid the situation and I'll do something like this. So I'll just switch on the laptop or make a video or write an angry letter to the newspaper about something or other. You know, because that's the sort of thing that I do. Rather than being in a situation where I have to say to myself, you know, consciously or subconsciously, right, you've got to pretend to be someone you're not, just to not even be in the same level as neurotypical people, because as hard as you try, you'll never be in that level because they will know that you're not quite the same as them. So you don't even get the full credit for masking because you can never mask and be 100% convincing. You just can't do it because you're autistic. And why should you do it? Just why should we have to do it? Why can't neurotypical people mask and pretend to be autistic and be deeply engaged in our beautiful monologues about our special interests and be appreciative of our need to stim because stimming is harmless. What else could they? How else could neurotypical people mask? Because we're masking to make them feel comfortable. Why not neurotypical people make an effort to make us feel comfortable? Just a thought. Radical. I am a radical. Putting the world to rights, as always. Mad. Autistic Jenny's here. Hello. I could have been born in the UK. I like potty jokes. Do you like potty jokes? Specifically potty jokes. Rude jokes. Yeah. Um, yeah, is it a British thing, like toilet humour? Or in America, would you call it bathroom humour? That was a really bad American accent, and you can shoot me down for it. Go ahead. My live stream, and I am liable to lapse into terrible accents, and I'm so sorry. Not sorry. Oh, has Autistic Jenny, I saw your video earlier. Jenny, I need to play catch up on loads of videos. But there's two or three of yours, or many more actually, that I've not seen yet. I'm sorry. Charlie, to be yourself, I think I was to literally, apparently, you can only be yourself if you're normal or different in the right way. Different in the right way. That's really interesting. what different in the right way? Like, like quirky. So that's acceptable, like, or someone's a bit quirky, a bit eccentric. But we all know that that's not what being autistic is. It's not like it's not like a gloss on your personality. Ah, it's just a little bit quirky. It's not autism. Autism is fundamentally our brains. It's us. So, oh, he's just a bit quirky. Like, no. Quirky is wearing a hat at a jaunty angle. Quirky is wearing a stripy top in front of a bookshelf full of books and pretending to be a French intellectual. That's quirky, but that's actually irritating. That's not the equivalent to being autistic. Autistic is the whole package. It's awkward, but you know what I mean. So yeah, different in the right way. It's a really interesting concept. What's acceptable different and what's not acceptable different? Well, we know what's not acceptable different in many situations, within many groups of people. Not acceptable is authentic autistic self, unmasked authentic autistic self. Like, that's too weird. Like, well, so I have to mask then and put effort pretending to be someone I'm not, so that you can have an easier day. But I'm the one that's having to put more effort in, so I'm not having an easier day. That's not fair. Nope, it's not fair, but tough luck. All right, okay. Right, that's the rule then, is it? I'm autistic in a neurotypical world. I have to put more effort in just to get through the day. Gotcha. Well, that's not fair. It's not fair. And I will say that many more times, possibly during this live stream, but for the next few years as well. Shona, hello. So I was saying, don't see ourselves as other see us has never got the idea. I get it, but yeah, with my late acquired knowledge that I'm autistic, I started to play back um, episodes of my life and tried to sort of like a bird watching myself. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, that's how I came across to that person, but I thought I came across in a different way. But I'm kind of understanding how other people have seen me, and I'm not being negative about myself. I'm just acknowledging the double empathy problem. There's a divide there, and it's no one's fault. It's just that I've behaved in a way, and people have reacted in a way that is due to our neurology. No one's at fault, just the way that we're born. But trying to see myself as other people have seen me is something that I do more often because I know I'm autistic now, and I reflect back on previous episodes. I'm like, that's why I've got no friends apart from you guys, because I'm autistic and most people are not, and they just excluded me, um, or mistreated me just because of the way my brain's wired, not because of not anything bad. And I've done bad things. We've all done bad things, but I'm talking about just casual ostracization. That's a pretentious word. Casual separation. People don't want to know me, and I've genuinely not done anything. I'm just being autistic. So again, that makes us masked, doesn't it? Because we learn from that. We go, actually, if I'm just myself, then people won't be with me. So I've got a mask to have a chance of having a friend. And we know that's not unanimous. I've got, I have, joking aside, I'm looking forward to seeing, one of the few friends that I have, but he's neurotypical. So, I'm not saying that neurotypical people can't get on with autistic people. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's very, very hard. Well, it has been in my experience. I can only speak for myself. Whilst trying to, whilst hopefully saying things that you find relatable. I'm not Mr. Autistic. I'm just one autistic person, but I do find it very hard to find and maintain friendships. And now that I'm in my 40s and know I'm autistic and have a family and doing other things, doing a YouTube channel, I'm even less inclined to um, keep in touch with people, to be honest, and make friends. And I'm kind of set in my ways now. You're here, and I'm having a good time. Hopefully, you are as well. And I don't know why I'm doing the Orion Kelly pointing thing. Maybe because I watch or have watched too many Orion Kelly videos. I don't know. Um, Let me catch it. How can you stand up being able to move your legs? I would faint. I have to move all the time whenever live stream. Yeah, I don't know. My back is killing me though. I might have to stand up. My motto before I knew I was autistic: to thine own self, but be true. Hence, I don't mask too much. I just took the backlash. So no, that is great, and I'm increasingly minded to adopt that philosophy. To thine own self, be true. Um, but masking is a safety mechanism. If I was myself all the time in every situation that I could possibly be in, I would attract attention that I don't want. So whilst I think it's honourable to be just your true self, like I am being now, albeit with a dollop of silliness, um, I don't think I can't just do this in in any situation. Obviously, live stream's not the same as any situation, but you know what I mean. Just talk honestly, like I'm talking now, at length about autism and autistic experiences. I can't, I can't just be myself and do that all the time. I just can't do it because people judge, and uh, and with that comes risk of harm, and I don't want that. So I can't just be myself all of the time because in certain situations I'm going to attract attention that I don't want. And I do absolutely everything in my power to avoid conflict. I cannot stand it. I cannot, a mild disagreement. And I'm saying this as a politician. It's very weird. I still haven't figured it out. You know, I go to meetings, I write angry letters, I go on demonstrations, and I'm not saying this to say, look at me, what a big shot. I'm just saying I just feel compelled to do these things. I wish I didn't do them because it's stressful. But I just feel that I have to do my bit. And yeah, I don't like conflict. So in terms of masking, being yourself, I just can't just be myself all the time because if I was, then no, a comedic timing there. It genuinely was a fly. I say was, is, unfortunately from my point of view, is a fly. Present tense. I am very tense. See, dad jokes, which I was alluding to in live stream installment 1. If you were there back an hour and 20 minutes ago. Harriet, if you want anyone at work to do anything with you or provide resources to authorize a project, then you have to take them on a journey. Is this neurotypical speak? Take them on a journey. I mean, I don't try not to swear in these things, but there is a lot of bollocks, isn't there? And then just saying, so if you don't know the word bollocks, great British word, bollocks. The American one would be baloney, which I think is quite twee. Baloney. Um, yeah, and just pointing it out, the irony of saying that's bollocks, that's baloney, that's being very autistically direct. You must dress it up what you want to say and be more sensitive to your audience. To which I'd say, That's bollocks. And just a vicious circle. Sorry, a lot of swearing there. I apologize. Apologies. I apologize. This is meant to be family viewing, which is a ridiculous thing to say. Can you imagine like a family of people huddled round like they did in the 50s, like watching some autistic guy monologue about autism and swearing? That's not family viewing, is it? Uh, Bookshelf tour. What's a bookshelf tour? Does that when I just go up the bookshelf and pick a book and then pretend that I've read it? I wonder what book kind of books he has on the shelf. I can see what you're saying. Um, well, I can pick a selection. Oh, here's a book I might take on holiday with me because it's about nature. And I read like a few pages and it's beautiful, but typical ADHD style. Bought a new book, went, new book, and then didn't read the book. So there's that one. And then I've got another new book that I fully intended to read in its entirety. This is about stand-up, it's about performance poetry by a chap called Pete Bearder, who's now at Glastonbury as I speak, preparing his first set, which I think will be tomorrow. Really talented comedian, musician as well. And I think I've showed this one before. Politics. Where did the seat? So yeah, probably quite a representative selection there. So yeah, I'm not going to pick every single book unless you do want to be here for 4 days. So yeah, was that a bookshelf tour? I don't know. If you've got a favourite book, want to talk about books in the chat. Um, I don't ask it the doctor if you feel too crummy. Yeah, when you're too ill, you haven't got the energy to mask. That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Because masking is an effort, and if you're ill, you haven't got the energy to make that effort. You are more autistic. So there's an argument for being ill. Not that I should joke about being ill, but yeah, good point. That the mask comes off when you're ill, or it's more likely to loosen off your face. That well, I'm ill. I'm feeling sorry for myself. I'm genuinely hurting, and I'm more autistic, or I'm more visibly autistic. So bonus, I suppose. I think my brain detects neurotypicals and trying to detect me or something. It can be pattern recognition. Yeah, yeah, get that, Isabella. Um, yeah, like hazard awareness as an autistic person. Like, can I trust that person? Here's a sad story. I not very sad, but I decided to latch on to this scheme at work where they connect you with like a senior member of staff, so that they can give you advice, mentoring, like not like give you a new job, but just like help you figure out what you might want to do next, that sort of thing. And I really clicked with the person that I was partnered with, and because it's like my autistic antennae. Don't know why. There's bunny ears, aren't they? You know what I mean? Antennae. That's what I meant. So, are they trustworthy? Are they genuine? And very quickly, I assumed that they were genuine, like neurotypical. Definitely neurotypical. But I felt like almost instantly that I could get on with them. Quite unusual, given what I've just said tonight about double empathy. But then I guess I'm justifying what I said a few minutes ago because I met that person twice and they've disappeared. Story of my life. I overshared, you know, thought I could overshare with them, thought I could trust them, and they just disappeared. So tomorrow I'm going to meet someone else, a new mentor, um, and yeah, I'm going to be a lot more cautious next time. But yeah, I'm gutted. I don't know what I did wrong. I was too autistic. No, not openly said that I'm autistic, and I think I might have said it in my initial form. But no, unmasked, unmasked, complete person out of my life. What have I done wrong? Nothing. I was honest because I'm autistic. Don't like bullshit. So just yeah, that person disappeared. Fly, no. Hiding behind the classics, the many classics that I have on the shelf. Fly's gonna dip into Shakespeare. It's not classic, is it? See, I don't know what I'm talking about. Um, Plato. I don't know. Layla, Orion Kelly cracks me up. He's very sarcastic. Yeah, Orion's a funny dude. He's a very prolific dude. How does he have the time and energy? I'm so over masking and fitting in. Cool, good for you, Lily. Richard, I like when he'll write some random words. It's like he's giving himself timestamps to show himself where he's in the chat. Richard, I've realised there's a benefit of me typing in random words. They're not random. There's a purpose to them. I type in a random word. Okay, here's one. Llama. That was the first word that came to my mind. But yeah, and I can understand. I've learned that it can be useful as a timestamp. It shows you how much chat I've got to catch up on. But I think you've been quite reticent, quite quiet tonight. Charlie, your plushies are watching. Cool. Autistic Jenny finally got to my comment. I'm so sorry. I do a lot of that, and then I fall behind on the chat. We're a family, so family viewing. Yes, indeed. Like in the 50s, black and white television. Helen, if I was at a doctor's, I would not mask, but other appointments I'd do my way to cope. Yeah. See, I unmasked at my autism assessment appointment almost 2 years ago, thinking in my naivety that by unmasking and talking about myself and my autistic experiences, that I would not be praised like, oh, well done, you're being your authentic self. I'd just be respected, you know. But you know, Autistic Jenny had done a brilliant video about her own autism assessment, and I love the bit in the video where Jenny is really irritated by the autism assessor criticizing her, criticizing Jenny for talking about herself. But that's the whole point of the appointment. I don't, you know, not no, sorry. The criticism was about not asking questions about the assessor. The appointment's not about the assessor. The appointment's about you, and that appointment means a huge deal if you're late to this autism thing. You know, you're finding out who you are. So that's like a really precious appointment. You don't want to waste a minute talking about the weather or asking the assessor whether they had a nice weekend. I mean, I'm not saying if you did ask that question or that type of question in your own autism assessment appointment, if you had one, that you shouldn't have done that. Fine, but that's not what the appointment's for. So if you didn't ask that type of question and you didn't show a reciprocal level of interest in the autism assessor, well, that's fine in my book because the appointment's about you. So yeah, I unmasked in that appointment, and in my report, I was told that I talked too much about myself and didn't ask enough questions about the assessor. I'm like, sorry, what? My appointment. I've waited 41 years for that appointment. 41 years of being misunderstood. And now reading in my autism assessment report that I'm still being misunderstood by a so-called professional. Boggles my mind, my poor, self-pitying autistic mind. So there we are. Some appointments I have unmasked, but that type of experience makes me want to keep the mask on, sadly. So yes. I apologise if I've missed any comments, by the way. I think I'm just about catching up. Oh, there we are. Learning from non-fiction is one of my main special interests. Yeah, I do read. I don't read much fiction these days. Isabel, I can see the BS from 1,000 miles. History, fiction, and Bible studies. Good mix. I organise by colour and size as well. Now, I think I know the context to that comment, Ollie, because I'm out of kilter, because I'm behind. I organise by colour and size as well. I'm not going to speculate what you're talking about there. I think it's books. Let's assume that. And that assumption would be justified by reading the next comment or one of the next comments. Lily, I'm an obsessive reader. I go through hundreds of books. I apply the 3 books in hand to get panicky and run out. Wow, I just really am in awe of anyone who can read a book from cover to cover, like my wife does, even though she's an extremely busy teacher. It's not time to read a book. She reads like a book a week, which to you might be like nothing, but to me, it's like I haven't read a book this year, and we're in June. I'm kind of beyond the shame because you know, struggle to concentrate, ADHD. I'm worried about the world and probably obsessing too much about autism. There's too much going on. I just can't focus on one book. So to have 3 in the hand, like a waiter, that's amazing. Llama, 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 mad at mama, a book I used to read my son. Oh, never heard that one. I could probably just about read llama, llama, mad at mama. Well, that might be a bit too intense, a bit too long for me. My attention span is, as I've said, pretty non-existent. But I might have to make a note of that. Llama, llama, mad at mama. Oh, diary's over there. I'll just have to remember it. OMG, what made you think of that? You've got some imagination. I can't remember. Isabel, you have to remind me. I might have some imagination, but I've got a dreadful memory. Yeah, that was a dad joke. Dad joke. That should never explain your jokes, but it just did. Sort of. Helen does Bible study too. Cool. Yeah, I've done Bible study twice, like a prolonged period of Bible study, which again, for someone who doesn't read very well, can't speak very well either. I did try to get stuck into the Bible. Read the Gospels when I was at university. Genuinely did actually. Did extra reading when I was doing an English literature degree. I read the Gospels. Get me. And then I'd have meetings I'd go to Bible study group and speak with Christian students and ask questions and not always receive satisfactory answers. And I shall leave it there. It's 3 p.m. in Arizona. Wow. Cool. I always love finding out where you guys are. Sanford Curtis is here. Good luck for the meeting with Paul tomorrow. How do you know about that? I am going to be in a meeting with Paul tomorrow. Paul, adult with autism. Thank you. The thumbs up. Autism spectrum must be creativity. My mum's an arts teacher, so I grew up in an arty household. Wicked. Wicked. Like a fly. So I don't really want to kill anything on a live stream. It's not what I do the live streams for. If I clap my hands, it's not because I'm very pleased about a joke I've just made. It's because I'm a murderer. Okay? No, it's gone. It's cool. You guys are talking amongst yourselves. It's brilliant. Because you can't depend on me to. You can't rely on me to be sensible about this because I'm just off on one. Charlie, I'm after my autism assessment 4 years ago. I didn't think I was autistic at the time. I only went to prove them wrong. I'm now glad I was diagnosed. Interesting approach. You didn't ask very successfully. Isabella, the psychologist I met were awful. They didn't show any interest at all in it, believing my experiences and giving me the diagnosis. They have a stereotypical view or external traits. Yes. Yeah, it seems bizarre that you need to remind psychologists, medical professionals, that autism is inside. Autism is going on in, our brains. Autism is the brain, and if you're masking, you're by definition of masking, suppressing, hiding autistic traits. So if you're hiding those traits, you're not being your true, authentic self. So it's going to be very difficult for someone to assess you as being autistic if they're only going on how you present externally, because the autism is here. If you don't understand that, if you're just going on external factors, then you're going to misdiagnose, or you're going to be more at risk of misdiagnosing. The, the ignorance within medical professions about autism frustrates me so much. But again, this is why I make my poorly watched videos, in the hope that, a doctor, a psychologist will be scrolling down and they'll be thinking, "Oh, I've watched all of Ryan Kelly's videos. I've watched all. I'm autistic, so now what? I've watched all Autism from the Inside. These are all great channels, by the way. What's this stupid thumbnail where a guy's wearing his wife's clothes in an attempt to get a laugh? Oh, click on that video. Oh, I've, I've learned something from another autistic voice. If that happens once, then that's progress. But the fact that there are so many people who, work in a medical profession don't understand autism because they have stereotype view. It's just so frustrating because they have such power and responsibility, but they don't have the knowledge. It's like you're having to teach them. So frustrating. Sorry, I'm really moaning tonight, and that fly sort of hovering towards the light of the halo. Right. There's a lot of hugging going on, so I'm behind them. Oh no, Jenny's gone. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Um, After the leaf, I found my way. After the leaf, I found my way, thinking that was a normal thing to do. Autistic pebbling. Yeah, I think it's a cool thing to do. I think one thing I did that I now know is an autistic thing. I gave a lecturer that I really liked. Liked as in he was a cool lecturer, not liked in that way. Mm-hmm. No. Just a really cool guy. Like he inspired me to do the masters that I did 2 years ago now, and unfortunately he passed away before I even finished my masters. One day we're having a pint, talking about music, and poetry and English literature and football. And 6 months later, he's not here anymore. Pancreatic cancer. Evil. What was I trying to say? Yeah, you offered a leaf. I offered my lecturer is not with us anymore. Postcard. I can't remember what was on the postcard, but there was no negotiation. I was like, "This is for you," and that was just. I just realised, like days before, that I'm autistic. Um, but I now know that's like an autistic love language. Like, here's the thing that I want you to have. There's no negotiation. I just want you to have it because I know you'll like it. And only recently I've realised that actually, while I'm certain it's a gift, it's coming from a good place. It might not always land the way you want it to land because people might think, well, I don't want the leaf, I don't want the postcard. Um, but yeah, maybe I'm overanalyzing in my autistic fashion. But I think that giving the leaf thing is brilliant and cool. But then I would because I'm autistic. Um, is understanding internal traits and struggles you have from an overactive brain. They're horrible at validating highly masculine autistic people from my own experience. Yeah, overactive brain. It amazes me. I'm going to be slightly facetious here, or very facetious. It amazes me how many people around the world who seem to have very underactive brains. Like people who are so willfully and gleefully stupid, like almost no thinking. It's a wonder that their lungs move out and in. They can put one foot in front of the other. That they can blink successfully. It's like, how are you living and breathing? You're so dumb, and you're so cool with it. I'm agonizing over every blink, every syllable, every step, every step I take. That's an awful segue into a police song. Um, every step you take, isn't it? Anyway, pardon my ADHD brain. And yeah, I'm overanalyzing everything. So I will catch up on the comments in a moment. Just let me finish this ridiculous rant / attempt at humour. And yeah, I'm overcompensating, overanalyzing. I'm doing it now. I'm overanalyzing, and yet people are going, "Well, I don't think the world's round, and I don't think it's getting hotter in the world." And you know what I'm trying to say. People just, you know, they're normal. They're normal, and I'm not. What? Why am I being judged for being this over-analytical autistic person when there are massive amounts of stupid people who walk amongst us? You might think that's deeply inappropriate, or you might be going, "Oh yes, please make more fun of stupid people." Okay, you you let me know. It's late. The filters, well, it was non-existent. It was weakening, and now non-existent. I'm just saying it. It's my turn to get us a drink in the pub. So what will it be, please? Water. Thank you, Fiji. One I made earlier. Ooh, oops. Reminds me of the feather I took inside at work to show my residents because I thought it was cool. Yeah, why not? To show the beautiful things. But, People go, oh, why did you do that? So Jenny's gone. I'm so sorry, Jenny. It's a cool crowd indeed. Autistic's got sudden craving for chocolate milk. Um, Sorry that I missed you, Jenny. I expect we can't get the head on the creative autistic woman is supposed to be robotic and lose our shit for no apparent reason. Yeah, yeah, I get that. I think people they mistrust. They're very wary of creative people. It's like because they're not creative. It's like why do you want to do that thing? Why would you collect leaves and draw pictures of them? Why would you make YouTube videos? Why would you write songs? Why would you do anything remotely creative that's not like purely monetary value, functional, like day to day? Why would you do anything outside of those basic, you know, allegedly productive functions? Why would you be creative? What? Because you enjoy it? But why? People like judge you because they can't or won't do something that we consider to be fun. Well, yeah, you do you, and I'll do me. Yeah, that's the big deal. I want to collect leaves and make a dress out of leaves and wear the dress and make a YouTube video about how much I hate AI or A. Um, you don't need to watch the video. There's quite a lot more videos you could watch, or you could not watch any videos and not judge me for doing my thing. Just go away and do your thing. Just a thought. Um, Charlie, I'm an atheist but ex-Catholic and find the Bible very interesting. I always love philosophy and the big questions. Cool. I'm always interested to find out people, well, either way, whether they were religious and are now not, and were not religious and now are. Always really interesting to me. It's that conversion. Because surely it's just not like an overnight thing, like I'm not religious anymore, or I'm a Catholic today. That doesn't happen like that, does it? But like autism, you don't just go, oh, I'm autistic today. Yeah, just decided. It's like quite a lot of research and thought gone into it. Of course, you've always been autistic. That's where the comparison doesn't quite work because you either are autistic or you're not. But the realization is generally well researched. Um, Interesting story about my assessment. I thought that my neuropsychologist might be on the spectrum. I asked her. I blew her mind. Yeah, very plausible, isn't it? If you go into that field, although having said that, unfortunately, I think there are plenty of people who are autism assessors or psychologists or medical professionals, and they seem to show an alarming lack of curiosity about the fields that they are paid to be an expert in. Figure that one out. Helen says that sounds brilliant, Neil, but I don't know what sounds brilliant because I'm way behind in the chat. Please do remind me. I'm catching up, I think. Um, Unlucky to have a neuropsychologist who's on the spectrum. Yeah, I mean, if you find a psychologist, neuropsychologist, assessor who is autistic, then that's obviously going to be a lot better than someone assessing you who's not autistic, because you want that person to understand you. It's what they're there for. So well done, you've kind of hit the jackpot there. Charlie, if I clap my hands because I'm a murderer. Yeah, sorry, I said that about 6 minutes ago. Yeah, well, I, if I clap my hands, I want to be murderer because the fly is the thing that I was trying to terminate. Sorry, and yeah, but if I catch the fly, then and it's squished, then I am murderer. Quite literally. Not something I thought I'd be confessing in a live stream, but there we are. Murder by clap. Yeah. Um, Isabel, I wish I had a neurodivergent psychologist. Me too. I wish I'd had one 2 years ago. Yeah, that's what the hugs are for. So I've caught up now, sort of. Richard, I believe saying that trade people coming to my house. Do you think I'm not looking forward to having to be around people, especially in my house? Yeah, likewise. I did when people come around to my house to do jobs, I have done that irritating thing. Maybe it's partly a masking thing, actually, but I think plenty of neurotypical people do it. When like a builder comes round and then you adopt this sort of pretend working class demeanor, mannerism. So like, I mean, I do like swearing quite a bit, as you've seen tonight, but when a builder comes around, an electrician, I really lay on the F words, not the F word, just casual bantery language that I wouldn't normally use, and it's embarrassing. Just why am I doing it? To be mates with them? It's just but maybe it's masking. I don't know. So Richard, you probably gone. Oh no, where's the chat gone? You have gone. I'm not sure if I've saved the chat. So I was in such a rush to get this set up. I'm not sure if I've enabled the chat to save when I upload it. But very few people are going to watch this back anyway. But if you if you're here, you're here. You can see the chat. But if you are watching this back after the event and you're looking for the chat board and it's not there, that's because I didn't save the settings. I didn't sort out the settings because I was so eager to just get the live stream started. Sorry. So let's catch up. Oh, I think just about catching up there. So I do apologise, everyone. My last appointment was at my house. Psychiatrist came to my house because I'm bad at going in person. Yeah, I get that. Neil, you're so funny. Ha ha ha. Thank you. Disappointing lack of similar comments to that one, Isabella. So everyone, you know what to do. Carry on. Even though Mum's coming over to do a piece, I'm still going to feel awkward sitting on my chair with headphones on, not talking to anyone. Sitting on my chair with headphones on, not talking to anyone. That sounds like what I do like 8 hours a day, probably more. It's normal behavior for me. Other people are judging. Brain wakes up most of the time. My brain does my head in, quite literally. Oh my god, it's hilarious. Getting addicted. Oh no, the fly! You scared the living daylights out of me, fly. Oh no! Oh, it's not a fly, is it a moth? Oh god! It's like a horror film. I don't know, like maybe it's because I want to understand what people think about why they do certain things. Yeah, yeah. I always want to know why. I'm like an irritating toddler. As an autistic person, I'm just like, why, why, why did I do that thing? Why did they do that thing? Why? Why are there wars in the world? Why? Constant, like a toddler. Why? Why are there clouds in the sky? I don't know. I had a tradesman in some years ago to rename the bath, re-enamel the bath. Why would you rename the bath? This shit writes itself, doesn't it? I've come to rename your bath. It was called John, now it's called Lewis. Are you happy with that? Yes, I am. That'll be £150, please. Re-enamel the bath. Right, I get it. I don't actually. I don't even know what re-enameling is. I'm that stupid. I forgot to offer him a cup of tea, so he tried to drop subtle hints, which went straight over my head. In the end, he asked to. um, That's great. Like, I can just imagine that neurotypical autistic um, sort of communication mismatch. Like they're making, sorry, moss. They're making endless hints that they're quite thirsty, and you're going, you're not getting it. It's like, oh, yeah. Can I have a cup of tea, please? Oh, right, okay. Yeah, just say the thing. I over-explain everything a lot, and then over-explain why I'm over-explaining, so can relate. Yes, Charlie, that speaks for me very loudly. And an irritating bit of hair, you can tell I've been trying to brush it. I'm so vain, but it was annoying me. Um, yeah, I over-explain everything, and then I over-explain why I'm over-explaining it, and then I overanalyze why I did all that over-explaining. Brian Holden's here. Hello, Brian. Finally been referred for an assessment by my GP. I always felt different and realised watching YouTube about autistic traits to describe me perfectly. Wicked. That's the result. Well, that's what we're here for. To yeah, welcome to the autism community. When I say this, I mean you've not had an assessment, but it sounds to me that you have come to the realization before the assessment. So congratulations on your self-realization that you're autistic, and welcome. Yes, YouTube. Hours and hours of watching YouTube videos about autism, and then I finally realized, watching Paul Micallef, Autism from the Inside, 9 positive traits about autism, and I got to the last one, number 9. Go away. And I was like, penny drop, mic drop. I'm autistic. It's taken me 40 years to find out. And then I ran through the streets, bare-chested, saying, I'm autistic, I'm autistic. And everyone looked at me with complete indifference. And one guy said, put some clothes on, would you? I was like, okay. At least you acknowledged my presence. Yeah. You laughed and said I'm not very good with subtle hints. This is about the tea. Yeah. It's honest, isn't it? A misunderstanding, but I don't get hints very well. I'm autistic. I had someone come to check my meter for how much electricity I've been using. And I actually said, I was quite proud of myself. I said, because it was unannounced, um, knock on the door. I was like, oh, right, put the mask on. Hello, how can I help? I don't know what I said. I said, I've come to check your meter. I'm like, I said, well, I didn't know you were coming, and I'm autistic, and I'd rather set an appointment. And she was like, okay, can I check your meter? Like, well, yeah, because you're here now, but I am autistic. I'd rather the company or whoever tries to let me know, not try, but actually let me know, so I can prepare for this arrival. 6 months later, come to check your meter. Right. We've had this conversation. I'm autistic. I've explicitly said this. I'm not given hints. I've actually, it's quite a big deal for me to say I'm autistic. I don't want you to just knock on the door. And I'm a huge hypocrite for saying this because, most weekends I knock on people's doors unannounced, not because I'm weird and just like to annoy people. Should emphasize that. I'm not, playing a childish game, knocking on doors and running away. I'm canvassing. I'm doing Green Party and doing politics, finding out what people want me to sort out if I can sort things out. Um, so I'm a huge hypocrite because I'm regularly knocking on doors. So I do get, I'm having it both ways here. I do get why other people might be annoyed by me doing that. Um, but what point am I trying to make? Yeah, people turning up, tradespeople, meter reading people. So I need to prepare, but I'm a hypocrite as well. Um, sorry, I went off on one again. I will catch up. Autism spectrum on my phone, so I haven't come much because it's awkward, but that's the least fifth time I've started singing the Rock Neil's words tonight. If you're singing songs because I've said something or someone else has said something, great. Um, I don't hear any thoughts in my brain. I just feel a lot of activity happening and brain fog confusion. Oh no. Well, I'm seeing thoughts. So what I can see looks good, Richard. I'm trying to say things that are hopefully making you feel better. Oh no, I'm overanalyzing what I've just said. Ah, oh dear. Um, plus my tinnitus never shuts. Oh dear. And I've just lost the chat. Sorry, Richard. Um, right, let me catch up. Do bear with everyone. Isabel, I feel the activity too, especially when I'm in hypervigilant mode. I see my narrator. Yeah. I wish my narrator would shut up. He's very tedious at times. I don't know how to be not creative. Yeah, likewise. I get mad, like going on holiday. Um, get this, like a normal person will go on holiday and relax, which for a lot of people means, being on a sun lounger, drinking and eating too much, looking at expensive porcelain, not buying it, um, you know, going to the beach. You know what I mean? Um, I, on the other hand, am more likely to and will at my next holiday. This is what I was trying to say. I am going to um, write parody Nick Drake songs. I'll put another time mark in there. So the world doesn't need these parody Nick Drake songs, but my autistic mate Alex is recording parody Nick Drake songs with his friend Peter, and he asked me if I'd like to get involved by writing lyrics and then sing the songs that the three of us choose to. Well, no, the two of them will choose because they're going to do the music, and then I'm going to sing the songs that they've chosen to develop. But Alex said, "Well, if you want to write some lyrics yourself, then do that." And I'm like, "Oh yes, I will write those lyrics." I've only written two songs. I was quite pleased with one of them, but it was too neat and tidy. It was a poem basically. Um, so I thought, well, we're going on holiday. I'll write some more Nick Drake songs. Why? Just relax, man. But I can't not be creative even when I'm on holiday. I have to be doing something creative, being in my head, being productive, because that relaxes me. You know, making the YouTube videos, is an activity. It's soothing to be hyper focusing on a special interest, and I'm making something. That's my relaxation. I'm being creative and I'm relaxing. Although to someone watching me, not that they would, that'd be weird, watching me edit a YouTube video, stop watching me. This is my safe space. Um, they'd be like, if they were watching me and I allowed that to happen, um, they'd be like, that's not relaxation, that's you working on it. No, I'm not working. I'm in the moment. This is my relaxation. You know, you're going to the pub and talking with 8 different people in a noisy environment. That's your relaxation. To me, that's a job because I'm having to work to keep up with everyone. So, you know, you do you, I'll do me. Paul McCartney, thumbs up. Yeah. Um, tinnitus. Oh dear. I don't know what to say. Um, yeah, I don't know much about it, but I guess it's a hearing related issue and doesn't sound pleasant. Um, so yeah, sorry about that. For a bit of a narrator, such my internal voice is actually very different from my actual voice, but that only happens when I'm trying to mush thoughts into actual words in my head. Yeah, my internal narrator is Brian Blessed, totally unlike my high pitched voice that you can hear now. I have a booming Brian Blessed godlike figure in my skull saying, "Why did you do that? You walk like this so that people will." It's not a Brian Blessed impression, is it? You know what I'm trying to say. Brian knows what I'm trying to say. Um, yeah, how can we not be creative? Maybe I'm definitely not interested in organised religion. I'm very spiritual, philosophical. I'm interested in why people might join an organised religion. You know, is it for community? Is it for certainty? Comfort? But I do get what you're saying. I'm not religious, but I like to think that I'm quite philosophical. Yeah. I like to think about the meaning of life, but more often than not, I come to the conclusion that life is essentially a meaningless void. But you know, here I am, desperately pleading for your sympathy and likes. So it can't be that meaningless, because otherwise I just wouldn't switch on the laptop at all. I'd just stay in bed and feel sorry for myself. Oh, life's meaningless. It's an infinite void of doom. Uh, if I actually thought that, I wouldn't be talking nonsense about doom, would I? I've got the sense of my family members got the perception that I'm just thought it's fun to decide I'm neurodivergent. Like, I wasn't. I just thought these were so much fun being excluded. Um, yeah. Oh, yeah. I just feel like being different. Uh, I feel like being different. I was born different. Yeah. Next, unfair judgment. Come on, then. Next, unfair judgment. So I just feel like being different. No, you just feel like being ignorant because trying to understand autism would require a little bit of effort, and you'd rather not put the effort in. So, you just want to feel ignorant because it suits you. People can be incredibly lazy. Not really being very kind about humanity tonight. But, some of what I've said tonight might be agreeable, some of it might be funny, some of it might be both, or not. But it's a live stream. It's pretty throwaway. It's my virtual pub. It's our virtual pub. I shouldn't dwell too deeply on what we say here tonight, but I probably will anyway. But be lying in bed like, "Oh, why did you do that Brian Blessed thing? That was so weird. No one's going to find that funny. Oh no, now you're thinking about every Brian Blessed film that's ever been. Just go to sleep." Yeah, that's how my brain works. Oh, Richard's gone. Oh no. Hi Richard. This is really weird for you to see because you know he's gone, and I'm saying it like 10 minutes later. But catch up, right? Yeah. Um. Oh, might be catching up. I will be rounding up soon. Don't worry, guys. I'll leave you to it. Um. I've got my timestamp there. Nick Drake. Um. Bear with everyone. Sitting on my chair with my headphones on, not talking to anyone. It's a good lyric. It is. I wish I'd made that point first. Darn you, Arlene. Always coming up with the good ideas before I do. So how can the album cover? See you guys know musical talent. Cool. I'm sure that's not true about the musical talent. I forgot to joke. Tanya said he bored too much. I kept saying, I think. I have many lyrics in my head, but none of them written by me, sadly. Yeah. Why write lyrics when there are loads of brilliant lyrics already in the world? Like I said, for me, it's like relaxation. It's my brain's so busy. If I sort of channel that energy into something creative, that's sort of soothing in a weird way. Like it said about cloud, clouds because the evaporated water warmer makes bits cooler and condensed into visible steam. Factual autistic answer. Perfect. Um, it's a great name for a bath. God, how far back am I? 58 years to find out you're autistic. Yeah, one person said, commented on one of my videos quite a few months ago now, that they were 82. It's like, whoa. Um, yeah, Layla diagnosed at 50, yeah. There's lots of people in 30s, 40s, 50s, beyond. Find out late in life. Why does it rain? Why is the ocean so deep? Those are good lyrics as well. Trying to think of what that would rhyme. Why does it rain? Why is the ocean so deep? No, it's not going to go anywhere. I'm too tired to think of anything poetic or witty. Brian, I'm convinced I'm autistic. 2 years of research. I'm age 62. Nice one. Yeah, I've spent a good 20 months, I think, reading about autism, watching YouTube videos, and then had my penny drop moment. I think children should have a diagnosis before they start school, not when they're at school age. The earlier the better. But my son's waiting for his assessment. But how long he's gonna be waiting, I don't know. But sooner the better, in my view. Charlie was just diagnosed at school. Yeah, mental health difficulties at 19. Yeah, me too. If I'd known that I was autistic, it would have made a huge difference. Um, yeah, me too. So I was diagnosed until 65 last year. Cool. Nice from Shona. We've got my timestamp, Nick Drake. Laura Havoc's here. Hello. Diagnosed at 8. Mother never told me until I was diagnosed again at 24. I'm not sure what to say about that. Lily's gone. No. Bye. Cricket, what the world needs now is love, sweet love. Well, that's got to be a lyric, isn't it? Kitty in the Garden, comedic parody songs are a British tradition. Is it, unique to Britain? Is it British writers parody songs? I'm thinking of a weird Al Yankovic. Oh, someone told me about someone here or commented on one of my videos. I can't remember the parody. Was it oh, what's the name? She wrote Complicated, Canadian pop singer. Oh, not. My brain keeps saying Ariana Grande. Begins with an A. Sorry about the tuning there. Oh, it's gonna bug me. Um, I have to Google it now. Complicated song, but that could mean anything. There's loads of complicated songs. Avril Lavigne, there we are. Thank you, Google. Um, yeah, Weird Al Yankovic did a fantastic Avril Lavigne parody, I believe. It's parody songs. Yeah, love it. Well, I'm self-identified ADHD with internal ADHD, getting done sometimes might be trauma response negative. Yeah, Isabella, there's a lot there I identify with. Absolutely, it's a struggle. It's a struggle. But that was not meant to be a flippant dismissal of your struggles, by the way. I was just trying to capture the chat. So anyone here obsessed with how the universe works, quantum mechanics, stuff like that? Just reading the words quantum mechanics makes me slightly befuddled. So I'm not the best person to talk about that subject with, but I'm sure there's someone in the room who would talk about quantum physics, mechanics. I'm getting really tired. I'm going to wrap up soon, but let me catch up on the chat. Is my mission. It's always my mission. All right. So Lily's gone. Let me just catch up. Quantum mechanics. That's what it was. Just been on first solo holiday. Couldn't relax at all. Just walked for miles every day. My brain racing away. Yeah. Community parody songs are very popular in Dutch. Point made. Nice one. When I was a child, I wanted to understand the universe, and I was very confused. Now I think it's fascinating. It scares me a little bit. Yeah, likewise. Universe fan. Yeah. Fine thinking about the deep question of life relaxing. For some people, that'd be too stressful. Yeah, I remember being a kid, being worried about paying bills. Like, how am I going to survive? I remember vividly thinking that, I know this is not the universe, but the point I'm trying to make is that I wanted to know how things work. Like, I wanted to be prepared. And I just have this really vivid memory. It pops into my head quite regularly. My mum was going to pay a bill, or several bills, and I just remember thinking, like, when I was 8 or 9, going, "But how am I going to pay my bills? What job am I going to get? When am I going to pay the bill?" Just enjoy childhood, man. I think a lot of people, non-autistic people, they don't ask so many questions. They just go, right, what's going to happen today? Let's see what happens, right? But anything could happen, you know. So why would you just, how can you be so relaxed about life? Is the way I see it anyway. So yeah, I think by extension of that need for knowledge and preparation and safety, we're bound to ask or be interested in the big questions because we want the knowledge and we want to anticipate. And sometimes it's just fun to just roll around in knowledge and facts, just enjoy the facts for the sake of knowing them. But again, a lot of people would think that's just a weird thing to say. Like, is it? Reading an encyclopedia or a non-fiction book to learn stuff, that's weird, is it? I think it's more weird to not have that inclination to want to know things. Well, I don't see how ignorance is a badge. People are, I don't know anything. Look at me. Like, what? And again, just saying that out loud is fine tonight here because you guys know where I'm coming from. But generally, people would have heard, if they had heard what I've just said, they'd be like, "Get you, Mr. Arrogant." No, I don't think I'm better than you. I just, I just think it's odd that people wouldn't want to know things. And you think it's odd that I do want to know things. And you think it's odd that I do a live stream and talk about autism so often. Well, yeah, well, I think it's odd that you don't show any interest in autism, and so on and so on. Brian Blessed shout Edness. Okay. I kind of miss being part of religion. My parents banned me from going to church when I was about 14. Dear. Or if you've not seen my video on religion, check it out. Because I basically all I said, I say this, I said in my video that I'm jealous of people who are religious because you're part of a community. But I might have said other much more profound things. Can't remember now. Um, Isabel, when I watch history documentaries and they talk about dinosaurs, I think, why don't you even try to do anything? You know what I mean? It's like time here is so short. Yeah, I'm like that with all the books behind me, like all the books in the world. I go to the library and I'm pointing in the direction of the library where I live, and I get I feel kind of sad when I walk into the library or even look at my bookcase and just go, I'm never going to get around to reading all those books. Not least because I spend so much time doing live streams and making silly YouTube videos. I'm definitely not going to be able to read all these books if I'm on the computer so often. But even if like the internet didn't exist and this wasn't happening, I'd be looking at those books and be like, I just haven't got the time, and I want to know everything. I want to understand, and I'm still working this thing out. I think still recognizing it in other autistic people. It's not just me. Like other autistic people have that desire to just know as much as possible. You've got sort of a natural curiosity, which I think is brilliant. One of the great things about being autistic is that curiosity, that willingness to learn. And I'm massively generalizing because I'm sure there are autistic people who they're not curious. They're set in their ways and they don't they don't explore. They do their thing. But so I am massively generalizing. But based on speaking for myself and gleaning from what people have said tonight, I do think there are plenty of autistic people who are just sort of hungry for knowledge and just for the sake of knowing things, but also because uh, they they want to be able to prepare and make informed decisions because we're logical and we want to do things right. So knowledge will help us do things right. You would think, but often I find that people, and myself, make decisions that are not entirely logical. They're emotional and guided by other factors and impulses, and it's very messy. But I guess that's just being human, isn't it? If we're all logical, then what would the world look like if we were just purely logical? Discuss. Um, so let me catch up. Um, it sounds like I'm an existentialist. Neil, it sounds like you are an existentialist. Me, an existentialist. Yeah. What did I talk about this in the video? So I don't mean to keep shamelessly plugging my videos. Um, yeah, I did. Did a video about this. Big talk. There we are. Um, go watch Big Talk, the video that I did, and yeah, it's all about me dipping my toe into existentialism. Yeah, I have actually read some books. One of which was I've read a couple of Camus books and Jean-Paul Sartre, but this is 20 odd years ago, when I had more time, way before I had a family. Or, you know, so just read a book by Albert Camus about an Arab person being killed and him not being too bothered about it. Yeah, that one's called The Outsider, and I've just given the most pithy summary ever. Yes, I would say I'm an existentialist. Yes. Um, so I'm going to hurry up here. So I'm going to have to wrap up and leave you to do more interesting things. Shona's gone. She went 4 days ago. Bye, Shona. It's now Sunday. What's my next song about the ocean? That's what it's joke, but who knows? Maybe it could be a song. Yeah, do it. I think so. Why does it rain? Why is the ocean so deep? Why is my dream awake in my sleep? Why is my dream awake in my sleep? Like that, Eileen. Keep that. Perfect. I was thinking deep, keep, but I couldn't figure out the rest of the words. Sleep. That was the one. Good. Well done. Kay, I had my drumming workshops end of the school year's show tonight. Cool. Richter, I love Weird Al too. Yeah, this song that I saw was just so clever. And I thought he was kind of like a 90s sort of phenomenon, but this was much more recent than that. The song that I keep referring to, which I can't remember the name of, just the rhymes and the concepts and the just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And it was recommended to me by someone commenting on a YouTube video. So for that reason alone, making the YouTube videos and connecting with you guys, I mean, Kay, you shared the Groucho Marx, the Marx Brothers sketch, um, the sanity clause. I've never seen that before. It's hilarious. Um, so yeah, all these songs, you know, comedy pieces, sketches, all these recommendations, books, essays that I would never have found out about if I'd not connected with your good selves. You know, brilliant. I mean, Arlene's, you know, ridiculously talented. See, she can string a sentence together, unlike myself. Um, Arlene's a professional musician, and yeah, if I'd not got on the YouTube, I would never have found out about Arlene's art and music and enjoyed it very much. So yeah, I'm just hungry for knowledge, hungry for culture, and yeah, an unexpected benefit of doing the autism YouTube thing is finding out about all these wonderful artists, musicians, filmmakers, and so on. Kissing the Garden, Alanis Morissette, Settee, okay. Avril Lavigne, yes, got there in the end. Complicated. Weird Al's Word Crimes is so good. Okay, I've just gone on about sharing culture, and yeah, check that one out as well. The ocean's so deep because the land at sea level is relatively high above the ocean floor. It's so redundant. Okay, thank you, Russell. Yeah, Avril Lavigne's just released a new song. She hasn't aged. She's incredible. Arlene's gone. No, time for me to shut down my circus bio. But totally groovy. Oh no, gone. Vibrating. What is that? Right, I'm going to wrap up. Not just because my phone. Who would be messaging me now? It's midnight. Crikey. Right, I really have to go. Um, but I must catch up on the chat. Brian's made a very incisive point about other dimensions, which I haven't got the energy or the intelligence to engage with properly. I'm really sorry, Brian. Kay's made a comment about finishing studies in Vienna. Helen, we should prepare for that one. But at school, maths about bills. Yeah, practical life skills, which is pretty. It's usually, dare I say, sort of from a sort of a right wing point of view, like shouldn't be teaching art and culture in schools, drama. What's all that about? Should be teaching practical things, okay, proper jobs. But yeah, there's a point there, isn't there? Teaching kids how to, giving them a taster of, you know, filling in a tax return. I mean, why not give a 14-year-old a taster of filling in a tax return? Because you don't know, you don't know. Knowledge. You need the knowledge to do the thing. And what happens, or what happened in my experience, using the tax return example, because I was self-employed for a brief time, through necessity, so I couldn't get a job. Became self-employed teacher for a little while, and had to fill in a self-assessment tax return, completely out of my depth. Didn't know what I was doing. Just expected to fill in a tax return. Went on to page after page after page. That would have been really useful to have learnt about at school, albeit there would have been a big gap in time between me being at school and filling in the self-assessment tax return. At least if I'd had a taster, I wouldn't have felt so out of my depth, and it wouldn't have created such anxiety. So yeah, life skills, bills, setting up a bank account, things that kind of all expected to do. Teachers at school teach the kids. So yeah, another rant there. A rant in agreement with someone else. Rick, almost 1 a.m. blimey, Rick. Still don't want to go to sleep. I was up until 1 o'clock last night reading about 19th century conflict in Central Europe. Why? Why? There's no need for it. But there's just information, nom nom nom, information. It's like, ooh, the Italian border's shifted over the years, hasn't it? Yeah. So no wonder I'm tired now. Oh, that is 3 minutes past midnight, or 1 o'clock. Children shouldn't have to suffer like we did. That's why they need to learn. They need to learn about neurodivergence. Here, Isabella. Yeah, and I think about that a lot with regards to my son, because he's 13, and I want him to know about all of this autism thing, because I don't want him to go through the pain that I went through, basically. I still remember my mum speaking read synopsis Kafka's Metamorphosis. Told I wanted that book for Christmas at 11. Yeah, great. Yeah, I went through a Kafka phase. I read the Trial, The Castle, Metamorphosis, short stories. I think there was another one. Yeah. Trial is good, though, isn't it? In it. Saying that we should all be able to learn about different ways people can be from a young age so people don't have to grow up confused or feeling wrong. Yeah, there's a really funny sketch by not Lee Nelson. It's and I will wrap up shortly. Everyone, don't worry about that. I'll leave you in peace shortly. Simon Brodkin did a funny sketch in his recent comedy set. What's it called? He talked about being ADHD, recently diagnosed ADHD. But this sketch is about parents protesting about teaching kids about homosexuality. And I'm not going to try and replicate the sketch. I'm not a professional comedian. It's his material, not mine. But it did make me laugh, because he's a comedian, when he said that he wished his kids were that susceptible that they could easily learn as easily as these parents were making it that their kids would learn. So they were saying if you teach homosexuality in schools, then their children are more likely to become homosexual. And Simon Brodkin said, well, I've been teaching my kids to put the toilet seat down after they use the toilet, but they never do. And he made other jokes that I won't attempt to share right here, right now, because they're quite rude. But yeah, if you teach kids about autism, they're not going to become autistic, are they? They're just going to have a better understanding of autistic people, and with better understanding, we have a more harmonious world. Fancy that, you know? It's not going to become gay by learning about gay people. You're not going to become autistic by learning about autism. Mad. I don't know what started that. Oh yeah, Charlie's comment. Thanks, Charlie. Lady, so info is available on ASD or autism is not great indeed. I still have new comments, but still listen until the end. Been great hanging out with you. Thanks a lot. Yeah, no, I love the comments, and I'm sorry that it takes me forever to get to the end of them, but no comments, no live stream. So, that's the way it goes. Let me just, I'm doing it again. I was a bit after section 38, born in 2001. Still nothing about to spoken about school. 28. Charlie, you spring chicken, you. I'm doing that irritating middle-aged thing of referring to people, anyone younger than me. I'm patronizing them by calling them spring chicken. And what's that about? 28. I can't remember being 28. Everyone was riding penny farthings that long ago. I've missed loads of comments, but I don't think you're going to hate me too much because you're eager for me to get to the end and wrap this up. So sorry if I've missed any of your comments. Isabella, thank you for the live stream. Yeah, I'm wrapping up. Okay, I had to complete disheartening visit with Dr. I have high hopes for this integrative special taking me into account. It was too good to be true. Yeah, it sounds a bit like my recent experience with my mentor. I thought this is going really well, and then they abandoned me. I didn't do anything wrong. I was just being me. Oh well. Sorry, I've put the limelight back on, the spotlight back on myself. But just trying to relate. Being sounds like your parents never made me feel bad about my traits. School and therapist and they're down totally different story. It's all about understanding, he says, rather patronizingly again. Charlie, you're 23, excuse me. Of course. Yeah. So where did I get 28 from? Section 28. Gotcha. Can't do maths. Too tired. Apologies. 23. Even more of a spring chicken. Right. Well, I think I've got to the end. I've got my Simon Brodkin as my marker there. I've missed comments. I will not dwell on that too much. 14 people here. I'm amazed. I've never had the term spring chicken. I don't know. Random. So yeah, thank you all. For being here. Sorry, Kane. First part, last comment got erased. Um, I will do this again, but not for some time. Because I'm going to be elsewhere. So he gets the paper diary out. When might the next live stream be? Oh, it's like, when's the next live stream? This was so much fun. When's the next one going to be? I don't know. I don't know. 17th, 18th of July, something like that. Not for a while. So, yeah. Yeah, all going well. I'll do another one around that time. How many weeks? I need to know. I need to know. 1 week. Oh, well, basically, hope to see you again in about 3 weeks' time. So it sounds like it's ages away from now, but it'll soon come round. Um, Thanks so much for sticking with me on this. As I've had really good fun. I know I always say that, but doing a live stream is just wicked fun. And I know it's a bit frustrating to begin with, and I've got this mad, probably OCD obsession with trying to capture every comment and respond to every comment because I don't want anyone to be left out. I need to work on that because it just irritates people that I'm trying to catch up and then I'm not in sync with what you're saying. So I will work on that and try and achieve a happy medium. See, I'm being critical of myself. It's a live stream. Chill out. But yeah, take care all. I hope some of what I said was informative, amusing in any way. And yeah, thanks to you for making it interesting. Because without comments, I'm literally speechless. I don't know what to say. So I'm just bouncing off what you're saying. So I'm going to leave you to it. Next video, Monday or Tuesday. Then there'll be a bit of a gap and hopefully be doing a live stream 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks. In the meantime, go and watch all the YouTube autism channels, Mike Autistic AF, Creative Autistic, Autistic Jenny, Artist on the Spectrum, and so on and so on and so on. And if you've got any ideas, you want to just share thoughts, email me at this email address. Can I spell that? I think I have. So yeah, but having said that, if I don't respond as quickly as you would like, it's because I'm away. So, but I will try to keep checking emails and messages if I've got the internet coverage. So I'm going to do the awkward 3, 2, 1 because I don't know how to end conversations. I don't do this in real life. Like, right, I must go now. 3, 2, 1, bye. I don't do that in real life, but for some reason I feel the need to do it on a live stream. So love to you too, Russell, and everyone else. Thank you so much for making this worthwhile and fun. Charlie sometimes does that in real life. Okay, that's amusing to me. Like, 3, 2, 1, bye. I'm going to do it now. Okay. Ooh, and respond to the email from Paul, Adult with Autism. Go and watch Paul's channel, Adult with Autism. He's put up a brilliant video about autism and loneliness. He's way too modest about it, but it's a really, really good video, as it usually is the case, always the case. So go and check out his videos. Right. 3, 2, 1. Bye. Thank you so much. This has been brilliant as always. Take care.